Welcome to the Raindance Film Festival 2017, and tonight's film premiere is a film called I'm Not Here. Some of its stars are going to be here, and I'm going to talk to them in a bit, including the main star, J.K. Simmons, who plays the lead role of Steve. He's directed by his wife, Michelle Schumacher, and his brother-in-law, Randle Schumacher, also co-wrote the screenplay. So stick around, I'm going to talk to all of them in a bit. What's your character, what's the history behind your character in I'm Not Here?
My character is a guy that looks like this, a little hairier, a little less clothing, and he's at a place in his life where he has a lot of regret, and we sort of find out how that developed as the movie goes along. I hate giving away anything about a movie. The thing that's interesting to me about this, aside from the fact that it was written and directed by my wife, is that it examines, we see three different stages in this guy's life. I'm one stage, Sebastian Stan is the 20-something stage, and then Ian Armitage is a 5-year-old. So we sort of get to examine how this guy got to where he is.
And I have to ask you...
Which is not here. That's where he got to. Where he got to is, I'm not here.
I get that. So what's it like being directed by your wife?
It's much like life at home.
All plain sailing?
It's great because we met 26 years ago as theater actors together doing Broadway musicals, and then she took off, 15 or 16 years off to be a full-time parent, mom, and then she began this second career as a filmmaker 7 or 8 years ago, and it's been great to watch that develop and to watch her command a set. I mean, honestly, I joke about it being just like home, but when we get to the set and she's calling the shots, it's great to sit there and watch her be the man, so to speak.
And then your brother-in-law is also in the film. Tell us about his part in the film in terms of producing.
Well, he's been working with her as a producer for a while now, and short films and other projects, and it's a family affair. Our son contributed to the soundtrack, and our daughter can be very briefly glimpsed on camera. So it's been a real family thing.
So after this, would you say that you'd want to do another film that's a bit of a family affair again?
Well, Michelle, my wife, like almost every filmmaker I've worked with, when she's in the process of it, is always saying, "Oh my God, please tell me not to ever make another film again, because this is just too much. It's killing me." And then once it's all done, she's like, "Okay, all right, I have some ideas. I'm ready to dive in and make the next one." So she and Tony, her writing partner, who's also here, Tony Cummings, are tossing around ideas and deciding which one to develop next, and hopefully there will be a part for me.
JK, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So, Michelle, what drew you to direct this film?
Well, I co-wrote it, so I was just saying maybe I'm a bit of a control freak, but I co-wrote it, I directed it, and I edited it, and then I co-produced it because I wanted to tell my story in my way, and to me it's what I found interesting about this, and why I am so happy to be here at Raindance with it, is because it truly is it's an independent film, and it's different. My lead actor has no dialogue at all. So it's all about visual emotion, visual connections, being able to, I think everyone who sees it will, almost in a way, it's almost like viewing a painting. Well, you'll see in it what you bring to it, you know, or what's going on in your life. So what I like about it is being a part of that whole process, you know, and that give and take with the audience. I come from a theater background, so there's the energy that you give and take from a theater audience, a live audience. To me, is this film almost achieves that, because I do think the audience will see in it what they are seeing, you know, individually what they're looking for.
But you see, as a director, isn't it? Doesn't it make you feel slightly uncomfortable not directing the audience as to what to think or to feel, or is it quite liberating?
That's an interesting question, because that is one school of thought. Is look here, and you know, inserts are look here. A sound design is to, you know, watch that, right? That's all part of this construction, and that is what this medium is. You're right. But I kind of like putting an idea out there and letting the audience see what they see. It's interesting because when we were taking meetings for the casting of the film, all the actors that came in, they all had a different interpretation of what the script was, and I loved it. You know, someone came in, oh, it's about this. Somebody else, it's about that, and they're all completely different, but they're all in the film. They're all in the screenplay, the script itself. So I thought, this is fabulous. Whatever somebody's going through in their life, that's what they see focused in the film, and it might not all be the same thing. I mean, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but there's alcoholism, there's suicide, there's homosexuality, there's, you know, father, son. There's all kinds of sort of these universal themes, and the audience will take from it what's going on inside them, or someone they know, you know. And that's what I find interesting about it, is hearing what each person thinks it's about. And then there's this layering of quantum physics in it, and that's really fabulous when people kind of see that, you know, and how deeply we went with it in the script, without heavy-handed sort of, you know, but it's all in there. So that it's interesting. This is an interesting process with this film.
And also interestingly, working with your husband.
Yes.
So is that the first time? And B, how enjoyable an experience was it?
Well, I did say the lead actor had no dialogue. He didn't say a word. Yeah. I mean, there's no one better than J.K. Simmons in my mind, and to see him just connect with objects, you know, because he's I don't want to give anything away, but he's the easiest person in the world to direct, because he just is there. He just is so present and so prepared, and so we took 2 takes only because we needed a backup safety take. I mean, he's you know, what can I say? He's a great actor and a great guy. And I don't remember your other question, but I'm sure it was fabulous.
No, that's great. I was just a family affair, because obviously your brother Randle is also involved in it.
Yes.
So what was the order of who got involved? Because obviously, being co-writer, you obviously had it in mind that JK might play the lead, and then your brother might be involved in some capacity. So was it all down to you in terms of recruiting everyone and getting everyone together? Because I hear your kids are also involved.
Yes. Well, it is truly an independent film. It's truly an in-house film. So we wrote it for JK. We wrote it with him in mind. My brother, Randle Schumacher, and his partner, producing partner, Eric Radzan, they produced. We had done some little short films and a sort of starter, you know, feature, just to sort of put all the pieces together and get our crew and our group together. So of course they were going to produce it. My son, Joe Simmons, is a musician, and he's going to be going to NYU, and he's an incredible. He writes music with Nima. They wrote the score together, and my daughter sings backup on one of the original songs in it. So yeah, it's a family affair.
Has it started something? Do you want to get everyone involved now in future films? You
want to work with who you like, right? you want to work with, and that was one of the things that excited me most, is working with my son. My son was working with Kevin O'Connell. I mean, you don't get any better than learning from Kevin O'Connell how to mix, you know, how to you know, score, and where the sound effects should go. And so yeah, I mean, it's we love, you know, my husband and I met in the theater. We love theater, we love movies, so it's a natural sort of progression. And of course, my daughter Olivia Simmons wants to be an actress. She went to RADA actually, the summer program here. We were here she was at RADA, and so it's just very natural. And I just, I love my family. I like being with my family. So
it's wonderful that you've got such a good dynamic that you can, work together and actually work together.
Right. Exactly. And I'm not mom. I'm, hey Michelle, do you like this piano piece? My son. There's sort of a little bit of a love sequence in there, and I go, Joe, I need something a little like this. And he came back 10 minutes later, and it's the most beautiful piano piece with this great transition into the next sequence. And I mean, it's just cool, It's just cool, and so yeah, I'm a proud mom, and I'm a happy director.
I can see it on your face how proud you are.
Yeah.
My final question to you is, I've now forgotten what the question is. Yeah,
Hey, that's two of us.
No, do you expect this film to strike a chord with a lot of people simply because it's about looking back in your life with a little bit of regret and wondering, well, what if?
Right. A lot of regret in some ways. I think it's, yes. I'll say yes. That's what I want. I mean, I think it's a little bit different kind of film. I'm hoping people see, what's there and what's in it. It is about reflecting on one's life and connecting the dots and seeing how you got from here to there. Because when we're young, we make stupid choices sometimes great choices, but all those choices sort of branch you off in different directions. So ultimately, for me, it's about really sort of forgiveness, forgiving yourself for maybe a bad choice that you made in your life and took you down a really bad path, but that you can always come back. You can always make a choice. There's always room for redemption. There's always room for forgiveness of yourself and others. So that's ultimately what I'm hoping. For me, it's a very life-affirming film. You might not, some people might not see it that way, but it's very life-affirming and very, forgive yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. We're human, Sometimes I think we forget. Everyone makes mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. Learn from it, and then move on. Go forward, right? Yeah. So,
Michelle, thank you so much. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Very
much.
nice to meet you.
What drew you to the film?
The script itself is a very fearless script. It's very unapologetic, so once you see the movie, it really opens up for interpretation, the audience allowing themselves to put themselves in almost all the characters' roles and take from it what they will. So I don't like movies that try and tell you how you should think or behave or act or what you should feel. This movie does the exact opposite of that.
Well, and then what's it like acting with your brother-in-law?
Well, producing them. Yeah. Well, it was an easy casting decision, right, to hire Academy Award winner J.K. Simmons, so that made it easy. But what that does also is it attracts a pretty well-known cast. So, as you know, Mandy Moore is in the movie. We've got Sebastian Stan, Micah Monroe. Ian Armitage, who's 7 years old, is one of the biggest stars in America right now. He's coming out on a new show called Young Sheldon on CBS, and he is Young Sheldon, Big Bang Theory spinoff. So it's been great. It was a great experience working with such a high-profile cast on a low-budget movie.
Can you give us a kind of outline of things around?
I don't want to tell you too much. What I will say is J.K. plays a man in his later years reflecting on his life. It's told with a lot of flashbacks in not chronological order. And the audience hopefully pieces together where he is at this stage in his life, how he got there, and then needs to make the determination whether what you're seeing is actually happening or if it's in a parallel universe. So it takes place, it's a lot of the quantum physics types of theory where we both exist in different universes and parallel universes. So Sebastian plays the younger J.K., and the question is this simultaneous universes going on, or is this a chronological storytelling? And I'm not going to tell you more than that because each person has to make up their own choice what it is.
Well, that's all I need to know. Thank you very much. What was it about the film that drew you to it?
I think it's a unique story. I mean, really, like we were talking earlier about, indie film, and it's like the only space I think that you actually have nowadays to actually tell things that aren't mainstream. And this is different. It's sort of multiple time frames, quantum physics. It's just a different, dabbles in different waters that you just normally don't see, and that's sort of why we wanted to do it.
With this film being quite a family affair, did that change the dynamic of how you'd normally produce a film?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, I think, we we take our job seriously. I think the fact that we get along and know each other helps. I've known Randle, my partner, for 20 years, right? So even that, we have a very close bond, which I think helps you through the hard times, right? And but you still have work to do. The work of production and anything that you're doing, it's always there and it has to get done one way or the other. Whether you know the people or not, you got to get the work done. But knowing it made certain things, at least the glue that holds us together, was a little bit easier.
Now, do you think the backstory of the film is about a man who, in later life, thinks about his past and how it's got him into the position presently of feeling a bit unhappy? Is that going to strike a nerve with a lot of people, do you think?
I have to think so. I think about it all the time, don't you? I think we all do, right? We all go through different spots and, hey, if I had made this choice versus that choice, if I lived in this city versus that city, or if I had kissed that girl or the other one, there's always something that we look back at, and I think, that's life. I think, most people spend a lot of their time looking back and saying, how could things have been different? Not in a good way or a bad way, but, some decisions lead you down one path, some decisions lead you down another.
Okay, I'm going to ask a controversial question then. Do you think it's better to look forward or better to look back?
Oh, it's always better to look forward. Personally, yeah, I think so. I mean, we all spend a lot of time looking back, but I think, I'd actually not even forward. I'd say stay present, right? Try to stay here, try to stay in the here and now. It's all you can control anyway, right? You can't control your past, you can't control your future. All you can take care of is what you're doing right now.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.